In a small village in Cappadocia, Turkey, a farmer accidentally broke through his bedroom wall. He thought he had made a mistake. Instead, he found something no human being had seen for centuries. Behind his house, there was not a wall, but a narrow passageway, and at the end of the passageway, a gaping hole. The year was 1963, and what this Turkish farmer discovered was not just a tunnel or a cave, but an entrance to a vast and mysterious underground city. It was a place so huge it could fit 20,000 people, and it was a place so perfectly preserved it looked like an untouched relic from another time. This subterranean labyrinth was named Derinkuyu, which in Turkish means deep-rooted. When explorers finally descended into its depths, they were shocked by what they saw. They found churches with colorful frescoes, rows upon rows of wine barrels and storage rooms filled with tools and everyday objects. They also saw animal stables, ventilation shafts, and even some strange symbols carved into the walls. What made Derinkuyu truly remarkable, however, was its size. The network of underground tunnels spread out over 18 levels and covered a total area of over 12 acres. It was almost entirely carved out of soft volcanic rock and connected by a series of steep staircases and ramps. But what was life like in this hidden underground city? How did people breathe, eat, and drink in such a dark and enclosed space? The answers to these questions can be found in the most unexpected places. For example, in the middle of the city is a giant circular shaft that reaches all the way to the surface. This shaft acted as a chimney, allowing fresh air to flow in and stagnant air to escape. But what about food and water? These were important considerations for anyone living in such a confined space. Strangely, Derinkuyu's residents apparently stored their food in clay containers that were sealed with wax. These containers were then placed in storage rooms throughout the city. One of the most interesting features of Derinkuyu are the stone wheels. These massive stone wheels could be rolled across doorways to seal off entire sections of the city. Imagine the scene: a sudden attack from an invading army, citizens hastily racing for the safety of the underground city. They pull the heavy stone wheels across the doorway to block the entrance. Now the underground city is sealed off from the outside world. No light, no sound, no danger can reach those inside, and so they wait, sheltering in the darkness until the coast is clear. For centuries, historians believed that Derinkuyu was used as a shelter during times of war or persecution. But more recently, some have suggested that the city was actually an early form of a bunker, designed to protect its inhabitants from an impending apocalypse. Was this the reason behind the construction of such a massive and intricate underground structure? Did the builders foresee some great calamity that would befall the world above? And if so, what was this great disaster, and how did the builders manage to survive it? Unfortunately, we may never know the true purpose of Derinkuyu. The city was likely abandoned around the year 1250 CE, possibly due to the rise of nomadic Turkic tribes in the region. Over the next few centuries, the entrances to the underground city became covered in dirt, and the site was lost to history. It wasn't until 1963 that it was rediscovered by accident. Today, archaeologists are still working to piece together the history of Derinkuyu. The site is open to the public, but much of it is still unexplored. There is so much left to discover about this mysterious underground city. The first excavations at Derinkuyu began in 1965 under the direction of archaeologist M. Özdogan. Since then, archaeologists have uncovered many fascinating details about the city's history. For example, they found that the earliest inhabitants arrived around the 8th century BCE and that the city remained in use for over 1,000 years. Archaeologists have also uncovered evidence of a thriving community. Inside the city, they found workshops where tools were made, kitchens where food was prepared, and even latrines. But despite all of the progress that has been made, there is still much about Derinkuyu that remains a mystery. For example, archaeologists have not been able to determine who built the city or why. We know that it was constructed by the Phrygians, but we don't know much else about them. The Phrygians were an ancient people who lived in Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, during the Iron Age. They were known for their love of luxury and their skill as metalworkers, but we don't know much about their culture or society. What we do know is that the Phrygians built several underground cities, but only Derinkuyu has survived to the present day. Why did the Phrygians build so many underground cities? Were they trying to hide from something or someone? One of the most intriguing theories about Derinkuyu is that it was built as a refuge from the gods. This theory is based on ancient myths that tell of a great flood that destroyed the world. According to these myths, only a small group of people survived the flood, and they did so by sheltering in underground cities. Could Derinkuyu be the last vestige of this ancient civilization? Did the people who built it manage to survive the Great Flood and pass down their knowledge to future generations? Another possibility is that the people who built Derinkuyu were trying to hide from the Roman Empire. As we mentioned earlier, the city was most likely abandoned around the year 1250 CE. This was during a time when the Roman Empire was at its most powerful. The empire stretched from the Atlantic Ocean to the Middle East and North Africa, and Rome was a global superpower. It's possible that the people of Derinkuyu were trying to hide from the Roman army. Maybe they didn't want to pay taxes, or maybe they were part of a rebellion against Roman rule. Whatever the reason, they managed to create a city that was invisible to the Romans. It took almost 800 years for the site to be rediscovered. Finally, there's the theory that Derinkuyu was built as a refuge from climate change. This theory is based on the fact that the city is located in a region that is prone to extreme weather conditions. In the summer, temperatures can reach over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, while in the winter they can drop below freezing. Plus, the region is also prone to earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. It's possible that the people who built Derinkuyu were trying to create a safe haven for themselves and their families. By building an underground city, they could have protected themselves from the harsh conditions that prevailed above ground. Unfortunately, we may never know for sure why the people of Derinkuyu built their city underground. It's possible that each theory has some truth to it. Perhaps they built the city as a refuge from the elements, but they also used it as a shelter during times of war or persecution. What do you think? Why did the people build Derinkuyu? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.